We put power in words. Now it's not to say like someone call you the N-word and they mean it in like a hateful way, and they just like the hate and the power that they put behind that word. But then, like I said, it's the power that we put in these words. These words are just words. I thought it was very interesting that a lot of people was defending Will Smith, like, yeah, he's defending his wife's honor and all that stuff, so it's okay for him to then slap a comedian because he made some jokes about his wife. And I'm like, that's what comedians do. They're gonna joke about everybody in the audience. Money that we take and put into the foundation of Black Lives Matter is being used into their own pockets. The founders, the co-owners and stuff, the people at the very top. If your person isn't doing certain things and you find somebody that is, that's typically why people cheat. Welcome YouTube, it's your boy Innuendo. Get it? Innuendo. But if you with it, when it's finished, in the end, you win. Dough, man. Let's go. Look, I have another video for you guys. Listen, this is part 4, the final part, I hope, of this video. Documentary. I can't speak, bro. Like, why can't I say documentary? That is so weird. Documentary. Love, Trump, just hate. Let's get it in. We're gonna pick it up from where we left off, with a lady screaming in the megaphone and all that stuff, and it hurt my ears and all that fun stuff. But let's see how this thing concludes.
The more we go this way, it gets worse and worse. Welcome here, no hate, no fear. Refugees are welcome here, no hate, no fear. Refugees are welcome here, no hate, no fear.
You see why people on this side don't even bother trying to talk with people over here sometimes because
it's loud and you can't.
You can't. They drown you out with yelling. You're shutting down discussion.
We're not asking for a conversation.
You're shutting down discussion.
We're not asking for a conversation.
So I can't get them to answer like a real question.
Conspiracy theory channel, and it's not accurate. You guys create delusions in your mind, and then because you guys are all ignorant, you guys just eat them up like little mice in cages.
Black people.
Yo, this is a wake-up call overall, man. I didn't even think once you like it's like I'm following along with the guy in the video too, man. Like once you actually like you hear one perspective and then you hear the other side talking, you're just like, what the freak are you saying right now? But like if I started on this side and I went over there, obviously they're not attacking the guy, so you have more of a chance on the Trump side to hear what they're saying and be like, oh, okay, I understand, because they're talking to you and you can like have a conversation. Here, if a person's just talking at you in a certain direction, you're not going to really be receiving of the information. You're going to take it differently. So this is very intriguing. I did not mean to bring it so far back. That thing is hurting my ears.
No fear. Refugees are welcome here. No fear.
You see why people on this side don't even bother out with yelling? Yeah, I can't get them to answer like a real question.
Conspiracy theory channel, and it's not accurate. You guys create delusions in your mind, and then because you guys are all ignorant, you guys just eat them up like little mice in cages.
Black people have gotten bad information ever since 1619. Black people.
Oh, he just got you down.
No, you are wrong. I'm with myself.
Why your network is being sued? Can you please tell me why your network is being sued by the parents of
Don't
killed?
touch me.
I won't touch you, but you stop interfering in our protest.
I'm not interfering.
You're a traitor and a treasonous. You're a Russian agent. You're a Russian agent.
Marcos, ma'am,
You're a Russian agent.
You just got poked in the eye by your flag.
I did not. I was trying to get
I
between
know you
her.
didn't mean to. You can never come to a black man and explain to a black man about Black Lives Matter and things of that matter. Let me tell you something.
I'm telling you that I support you and have supported you.
White people can't support us due to the fact that you continue to enjoy what you know to be white privilege.
How do you stop us from
How do we become black? How do we become black?
What the frick? You see his face?
You don't become black. You give us our shit back.
you give us and our people our shit back.
That's why you need Alex Jones.
Your people keep on. Your people keep on building on our shit. See what I'm saying? Hey, don't yell in my ear, boss. Don't do it. Hey, y'all have
You see his face, and then like he went from being civilized and calm and stuff, talking on the Trump side, and now he's just acting like another black man because of the like ignorance that it's what surrounds us. It's what the environment. You're in a peaceful environment, you're gonna act peaceful. When you're in kind of a loud and aggressive environment, I should say, that's kind of what you're gonna feed that energy. That's what it kind of feeds the energy.
Look at these rude people interrupting you. They're trying to silence you. They're trying to silence you.
Of course, because I'm talking about black lives.
And they're trying to silence you.
They're using that white privilege. That's a white privilege what he's using. Just because you're right there with them, don't mean. From my perspective, you should be going to other white people trying to explain to them about how Black Lives Matter, not to other black people trying to explain how Black Lives Matter. You can't. Let me tell you something. You can't stand next to me or stand behind a sign that says Black Lives Matter and understand the concept of Black Lives Matter because you're standing behind a sign. The only reason you standing behind a Black Lives Matter sign is being white to me. It's because you feel guilty. It's because you feel white.
Hey man.
See, I got some Trump supporters right here.
Okay, so
These are Trump supporters right here.
what's going on over here?
Do you feel welcome over here?
Not at all. Not even in the slightest.
Why?
Because nobody wants us over here.
Why do you love Trump?
Hey, that felt good as cool.
I'm so sorry.
That felt good as fuck.
This girl just poured water on
I'm
him.
glad it was you.
Oh my god.
This girl.
Hey, that felt good as cool. Not even in the slightest.
Why?
Because nobody wants us over here.
Why do you love Trump?
Hey,
Oh, she didn't do it on purpose. I thought she threw water at the guy because he was a Trump supporter. Okay. I was about to say it's gone deeper. It's gone extremely wild now. If she just was putting water on herself, I'm guessing because it's hot and it got on him.
that felt good as cool.
Sorry. I'm so sorry.
That felt good as fuck.
This girl just poured water on
I'm
him.
glad it was you.
Oh my god. You should be so sad.
Turn around. Turn around.
Hey, you should be proud of yourself. Like, I'll shake your hand. I'll shake your hand. I'm cold.
Why did you throw water on that guy?
Oh, I didn't do that. I don't know what you're talking about.
What? Okay, I take it back. I thought she was going to say it was an accident. I was trying to cool myself down. And she even said, I'm so sorry. But not even owning up and being like, I never did that. That's insane.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I'm gonna speak about this white privilege stuff.
There ain't no white privilege. Ain't white privilege. I grew up poor as fuck.
They're yelling F Trump at us.
Fuck Trump!
Where they got this stuff?
You want to talk?
Fuck Trump!
Hey,
Fuck Trump! Fuck Trump!
I want to hear this guy talk.
Can you tell him to stop?
hold on, can I ask you a question? Let me ask you a question.
Fuck Trump!
Someone explain to me just the.
But won't stop to actually answer the question, which is, it's like, does he think him stop yelling? Because he got his groupies in the background yelling, so he's fine. But does he think if he stopped yelling that his point is not being pointed? You know what I mean? Like, it's not being expressed enough. It's like, okay, we get it. But the whole reason there's always a misunderstanding is because nobody ever wants to talk. So it's just all this confusion, yelling, and attacking.
The Black Lives Matter so you can prove your point and why you're doing this.
You already proven to me that you're not worth my time because you're ignorant.
I'm pretty sure y'all equal to me. I'm pretty sure you can walk into a store and be in front of me in line and you get served first. Am I right? And do I go up to you and go, this guy's black, get the fuck out of line? Have you ever had that happen to you? Nope. What are you? No fucking line.
I get harassed and treated like shit. I've never did anything.
And the whole white privilege thing, it's so weird that they kind of mix up what white privilege is in certain situations and what they experience. like people would sit there and be like white privilege, like white people could do whatever they want to do, or whatever the case is. And he literally just made a point, like he'd be like, if you're standing in front of me, I can't be like, oh, get this black person out of here, and they don't get served. If you're in front of me, you're gonna get served because you're in line in front of me. There's certain situations that it's like he doesn't he is privileged to a certain degree, but we spin it on his head and act like, oh, it's white privilege, like this person could just come anywhere and do anything they want, and there'd be no like nothing against them, but because they got privilege, that's what it's like, and like kind of entailing. But for me, I know I don't have any privilege, so clearly I can't do whatever I want, but they can do whatever they want.
To anybody, never been in trouble ever in my life. But just because I'm black and I got tattoos, and I'm like, just because I got dreads and I'm black, they assume that I got drugs. They assume that I got this and I got that on me. So they treat me like.
Yeah. Also, a thing is this that my black people need to understand. I had to learn this myself. We sit there and think it's like racial stereotypes or just a stereotype in general of thinking, oh, because this person's black, tattoos. It's how you carry yourself. It's your character, your demeanor, how you associate yourself, like just everything that you do that makes it seem like one thing or another. If I interact with an officer and sure, there's some bad officers out here, don't get me wrong, but if I interact out here and do certain things to talk a certain way, everybody isn't going to be looking like, oh, he must be a gang member or he must be selling drugs or whatever. They're going to see me in my good character and how I act and be like, oh, this is a nice, put together, well, young man. You know, they're going to look at me and see my characteristics, how I talk, interact and stuff like that. I'm not talking slang. Like, it's certain things. And I'm sure, like, people grow up stuff like that a certain kind of way. Don't get me wrong. I understand that. But it's certain things you do to a certain degree that makes it more or less, like people will look at that. It's not just because of the color of your skin. Like, I have locks in my hair. Okay? I don't have tattoos, but I got a nose ring. Like, if I walk around, like, it's certain things that we choose to do on purpose and make ourselves look like targets. First of all, you walking around, like, dressing like we don't know how to dress, walking with our pants below our waist and stuff like that. Like, come on, talking a certain kind of way. Like, we don't know how to talk. We don't have no manners, whatever the case is. Respecting certain situations. Being aggressive or angry and loud in certain aspects, even when if it is with an officer. There's certain times where, like, okay, they want to sit there and be like, oh, the officer, like, they kind of went off proportion and stuff. But sometimes, if you don't know how to, like, interact or you are the aggressor, a cop is sometimes it'd be in situations where they're going to fear for their lives because, especially in the past, there's been plenty of situations where the situation seemed okay, but people weren't sure, and then you don't know who's going to pull out the gun first or who's going to kind of react first, and you kind of like, if you have a disagreement with somebody and somebody keeps like balling their fist up and they put their hand up just a little bit each time like they're about to swing, you're going to look at them like, are you trying to hit me right now? Or what, like in the middle of an aggression or middle of an argument, and the person just has their fist balled up and just their hand just like moves like slightly like they're trying to swing at you. You'd be like, is this person trying to swing at me? So it's certain things. It's not just because, oh, this, like if I'm arguing or having a disagreement with anybody, no matter what color skin they are, it's not just going to be, oh, because I know black people are more aggressive, that if the black person is balling up their fist, that I know they're going to hit me, so I hit them first. Versus if a Caucasian person was to do the same thing, I'm like, oh, well, he's Caucasian, he's not known for violence, so he's obviously not going to hit me. That's not the way my mind is going to be. I'm not even going to think it like that.
Assume anything they be over here right now.
Because you're not a black guy.
Assume anything they be rude.
Because you never roll
Understand? Walk away, kid.
You never roll around just a black guy on a normal, regular day. I get treated like that, treated like shit for nothing. I've never did shit to nobody.
All we're saying is our lives matter, and it's a.
In some situations too, people will be speaking from a certain stories or things that they heard, but not their own experience. And I noticed that. But they're speaking out into a way where it sounds like it happened to them. They'd be like, because of the color of my skin, have you ever this happened, that happened? And people say that all the time. But you'd be surprised how many people that actually happened to. Versus if someone's just speaking another story of what they heard and they just reiterating, oh, it's because of the color of my skin, because the other people say it's because of the color of my skin, and they hear that information happening to that color of skin, and they see the person who's explaining that, like, oh, this must happen to all people of my skin color, so I'm gonna just keep saying this same story on repeat because I feel like this is 1,000% true, not realizing that it happens, but it don't happen to everybody, and it may not even happen to you. You're just telling that story because that's what you heard.
It is all lives do matter. You guys think you're excluded. Well, literally, you're excluding your fucking selves from the rest of it.
Not excluding. That's not what it's about. It's about saying enough is enough. That's all it is. You don't know because you don't participate in it.
So if we say Black Lives Matter, would that change anything for you?
Yes.
Okay, Black Lives Matter.
Acknowledge it and do something to fight injustices.
But can you also acknowledge that all lives also matter?
I always say that anyway. All lives do matter, but that's not the point of the movement. The way the movement started was because too many people were being murdered. That is why the movement started.
I think what happened was because it took such an anti-cop perspective and the blue lives, it pitted blue lives versus black lives, and people think that by endorsing Black Lives Matter, they're actually saying they don't care about the blue lives, the police lives.
There's not, I mean, technically there's no such thing as a blue life.
Police officers.
Okay. So police officers matter too. That's not the point. The point is we need to listen to the folks that are struggling and they're being oppressed and that are incarcerated at higher rates than white people.
I will say Black Lives Matter and Blue Lives Matter and Asian Lives Matter and White Lives Matter and Brown Lives Matter and every color of human being lives matter. And I would say a lot of Trump supporters and conservatives are actually advocating for the black lives, even that are in the womb, that are being targeted by Planned Parenthood. She was a vehement racist. There are racist
Margaret Sanger was a racist.
Yes.
That is not the point.
Margaret Sanger is complimented as Planned Parenthood's greatest hero on their website. But many people don't know the dark intentions behind Margaret Sanger and the creation of Planned Parenthood. She advocated a stern and rigid policy of sterilization and segregation. She was quoted as saying, "We do not want word to go out that we want to exterminate the Negro population." Despite knowing Sanger's past, Hillary Clinton accepted Planned Parenthood's Margaret Sanger Award in 2009.
Oh, shoot. I didn't know that. But I did hear about her being for abortion. I believe maybe that's what they were talking about. I definitely heard how Hillary Clinton has been more for abortion.
2014, 36% of all abortions were performed on black women, who are just 13% of the female population. Could this be because abortion clinics are targeting black neighborhoods?
I've never been targeted by Planned Parenthood.
No, it's not a thing.
Never.
They put their businesses in the black communities.
They put their business in lower impoverished communities to help people who aren't able to pay for their proper health care. I've gone to Planned Parenthood multiple times just for myself, just for proper health checks and whatnot.
So they offered the option of killing your baby, but they don't offer you the option of helping you with maternity care.
If you tell them they will.
They won't. I've called them and asked them. I have 2 kids.
That's because you're an InfoWars. They don't give a fuck about you. So
No, it's not. It's not anything. They don't know.
Yes, they do.
They do not offer maternity care.
Pregnancy centers.
First of all, that's just plain ignorance that she would think that. A person, when you call up a business to ask them questions, they not sitting there with your first and last name, what business you work in and stuff like that. They might have just heard her talking and just heard a regular voice. If I call up to the people, whatever, then I'll be like, oh, you're Eli Innuendo. You're on YouTube, obviously. I'm not famous, but they were like, oh, you're on YouTube. Clearly, we have to say this, that, and the third because you're popular and famous or whatever the case, even though I'm not. But you know what I mean? So it has nothing to do with that. That's just plain ignorance to think that. Because you could call up a business and ask questions and they give you the answers of what that information, and then you're no for like moving forward. But a person's not going to know that in the beginning, and then they're going to sit there and tell you like whatever it is that they offer, and you're going to sit there and take that with a grain of salt. You're not going to, what else can you really do? It's either true or it's not true. So it is what it is. It's just crazy. But yeah, it's definitely, you call up a business, they're going to tell you pretty much what they offer. You got to like People gotta understand that. They don't know who she is.
Negro population. Despite knowing Sanger's past, Hillary Clinton accepted Planned Parenthood's Margaret Sanger Award in 2009.
And Hillary Clinton is a Democrat.
2014, 36% of all abortions were performed on black women, who are just 13% of the female population. Could this be because abortion clinics are targeting black neighborhoods?
I've never been targeted by Planned Parenthood.
No, it's not a thing.
Never.
They put their businesses in the black communities.
Put their business in lower impoverished communities to help people who aren't able to pay for their proper health care. I've gone to Planned Parenthood multiple times just for myself, just for proper health checks and whatnot.
So they offered the option of killing your baby, but they don't offer you the option of helping you with maternity care.
If you tell them they will.
They won't. I've called them and asked them. I have 2 kids.
That's because you're an InfoWars. They don't give a fuck about you. So
No,
they're
it's
gonna
not.
tell you anything.
It's not anything. They don't know.
Yes, they do.
They do not offer maternity care.
Pregnancy centers, they know way more than that.
The Christian pregnancy centers will help you. We're here at this protest outside the Trump rally in Cincinnati. We're trying to have discourse and conversate, but it's been very hard to have a conversation.
Also, too, I feel like when people tell you something or just the understanding information being given to you, even her talking to them, they sit there and say something against what you're saying just because they feel like you're wrong and not because they did they researched the information themselves. I doubt they like called them up. Like, it'd be one thing if they called up and it was like, oh no, that's not true because when I talked to them they said this or whatever. They just like are disagreeing with her just because they feel like they have to.
Conversation out here with
Stand wherever the fuck I want, little fucking Nazi bitch.
Whoa. I was wondering what side that was when he came out of nowhere, was talking. Okay, so that really puts in perspective.
Pregnancy centers will help you. We're here at this protest outside the Trump rally in Cincinnati. We're trying to have discourse and conversate, but it's been very hard to have a conversation out here with
Stand wherever the fuck I want, little fucking Nazi bitch.
Wow. This is what we get from the liberals out here. Love and tolerance.
I hope the message that this shows is that we can have unity if the truth is revealed to.
I was wondering where the black man went who was supposed to be a part of it, but I see what happened. They brought him over, they talked for a little bit, whatever, then they kind of let him do their own thing, and then they talked to a few more people on this side.
To us that it's going to take some courage and bravery to walk to the other side to hear other people's perspectives so that you can really truly see for yourself what is happening in the country right now.
Unbelievable. If you guys want to help me so I can continue to show you footage like this, but then also show you footage inside the Trump rallies, please support me directly on Subscribestar at Millie Weaver on Subscribestar. You can also support me by going to InfoWarsStore.com and making a purchase so that I can continue to report the news.
But yeah, it's a lot to unpack from that. It's a lot to unpack. I don't think people even understand what really went down, and that's why I sit there and say, like, especially when it's not like a huge media outlet displaying the news and telling you this, that, and the third, or what you want to hear, what you think is true, what you don't think is. There's way more than meets the eye. There's way more information to learn and put in perspective. Like, oh, I didn't know that. It's a lot of different stuff, and especially just taking this chance to be like, oh, so the Trump rally where we clearly hear like the way that we hear about people who support Trump and all that stuff, and you see how peaceful they are, and everybody else on the other side is like the aggressors. It's very interesting to see that kind of dynamic going on, where I would have never even had thought that would have been the case. Or at least I wouldn't have thought that the people in the Trump rally would have been so calm like they were. It's like, it's funny, because even if you then Democrats and stuff, there's like, well, they didn't care at all. So it was like, somebody has to be at peace in order for things to get better. Can't just let things get more crazy and it's just wild and obnoxious for no reason. So yeah, but that was the final part. Let me know what you guys thought down in the comment section below. If you guys enjoyed the video, please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share with your friends. I'm putting videos out every single week. Pretty much every single day, man. We're on the road to 100 subs, man. 7 subs on the channel. Let's keep pushing, keep grinding. I got more videos I'm gonna post on here as well. I'm gonna be porting some of the videos over and having those videos ready. So thank you guys so much. I love you, and this has been a lot to unpack and learn. And I'm gonna be doing more videos like this, but if it's longer than like 20 minutes or 10 minutes, like depending on how long the video is, I'm gonna be breaking down in parts. So let me know what you guys want to see next. Other than that, appreciate you guys. I love you. Stay blessed. No stress. Like God, take care of the rest. See you guys in the next, man. That was a long video, but yeah. Thank you. Other than that, man, be safe out here. Love you. Bye.